In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a scope reticle overlay for your scope cam footage. Start with an image of the reticle you want to appear on your final video. Make sure that the file format of the image supports transparency, for example, PNG. I've included an image of a reticle in PNG format at a link in the description. Drop the image of the reticle into your project. Set the scale of the image to approximately the size you want it to appear over your final video. In this case, I went with about 67%. Apply a crop effect to the image of your reticle. Apply a circular mask to the image of the reticle. If I click on the mask, it'll show me the outline on the program window. Increase the mask expansion in order to add a black ring around the outside of this image. Apply a 100% crop on one of the crop parameters. And make sure that the mask is inverted. In order to get the scope cam footage to fit the circle of the reticle overlay, we're going to use a crop and a mask to create a circle cutout. This is the same technique we use on the image of the reticle itself. Searching for the effect crop, dragging it over to the scope cam footage, add a circular mask. I'm going to turn back on the image of the reticle so we can match up the size of the video to the reticle itself and make that video look like it is captured by looking down the scope on the day. Then we'll apply a 100% crop on one of the crop parameters and make sure that the mask is inverted. Notice how once the mask is inverted, you can see the crop crawling across as we increase the value, but it doesn't get eliminated from the mask area. And now in the background, we have our head cam footage. Here's what the cropped scope cam footage looks like over top of the background footage. And here we have it with the overlay applied. Once we have our reticle overlay as a nested sequence on the master timeline, we want to make sure we set the blend mode to multiply in order to eliminate that aliasing. Now it looks much more like we're actually looking down the scope. This is an optional step, but to complete this look, we'll add a blur focus to the background video that's sourced from the head camera. For this, I've just used the Gaussian blur and set it to a moderate amount of blur and made sure that I've selected repeat edge pixels. So in the effects menu, I'm just searching blur, use Gaussian blur, drag it over to the head cam footage, which is the background in this current image. Let's turn this off. So this is what the background footage looked like before the scope was applied. And in your timeline, this would happen usually when you're switching from your head cam to raising the scope to your eye. Next, we want to make sure that the duration of the scope reticle overlay matches that of the scope cam footage. A simple way to do this is to copy and paste the reticle in the timeline and then trim off the end. Here you can see we have a seamless transition between those two. So let's do a quick render and watch it back. Here we have the head cam footage, and when we raise the gun, transition to the scope cam footage, and notice the blur in the background. That's it.